The weeks that followed that conversation were quiet but full. Lila and Ethan didn't jump into anything too fast. They went for long walks in the park, sat on her front porch like they used to, sipping tea and talking about everything from work to childhood memories they thought they'd forgotten. There was a comfort between them, but also a new kind of nervous energy, like rediscovering a favorite song and realizing it means more to you now than it ever did. One night, Ethan invited Lila to his apartment to show her his photography project. It was a gallery submission he'd been working on for months, capturing moments of stillness. As she moved through the photos, sunlight hitting empty benches, an old couple holding hands, a child asleep in a stroller, she stopped at one that took her breath away. It was a picture of her. Not recent. From high school. She hadn't even known he took it. She was sitting under a tree near the schoolyard, reading a book, sunlight filtering through the leaves, her face soft and thoughtful. "You kept this?" she whispered, fingers lightly touching the edge of the frame. "I never stopped seeing you," he said. "Even when we stopped talking." Lila turned to him, heart pounding. And in that moment, she kissed him, not out of nostalgia, not out of regret, but because it was finally time. They didn't fall in love in the fireworks and chaos kind of way. Their love was quiet. Intentional. Built on a foundation of memories, forgiveness, and the kind of understanding that only comes from years of knowing someone's heart. They traveled together. Took road trips to nowhere. Built a life slowly, piece by piece, never rushing, never forcing. Lila found herself opening up again, not just to Ethan, but to the parts of herself she had left behind when she tried to fit in with the wrong people. Years later, on a crisp autumn day, Ethan proposed beneath the tree from that photograph. No grand gestures, just the two of them and a ring tucked inside a well-worn paperback of her favorite novel. "I've loved you since before I knew what love really was," he said. Lila laughed through her tears. "I think we had to lose each other, to learn how to hold on." A few months after Ethan proposed, as they were packing up Lila's childhood home to move into a new place together, she found a box in the attic. It was old, dusty, sealed with duct tape, and labeled only with her name in neat handwriting, her mother's. Curious, she opened it. Inside were stacks of journals, photographs, and a bundle of letters, tied together with faded ribbon. Letters addressed to her. From Ethan. But she had never seen them before. Confused, Lila sat down on the attic floor and opened the first one. It was dated during their junior year of high school, the time when she had started to drift away. Ethan had written it after one of their worst fights, the one she thought he'd simply moved on from. "Lila," it began, "I know you're slipping away, and maybe you don't even realize it. But I see you trying to become someone else. I still see the girl who gave me her ice cream cone. I miss her. I love her. I just wish I knew how to reach her now." Her hands trembled as she read the second, the third, the fourth. Some were hopeful. Some were angry. All were heartbreakingly honest. He had written dozens of them, letters he never sent. Lila's mother must have intercepted them, thinking she was protecting her daughter from what she saw as a distraction. And now, all these years later, the truth was sitting in her lap. She didn't tell Ethan right away. She wasn't sure how to. But one rainy night, after they had moved into their new apartment, she handed him the box. He read them silently, one after another, eyes dark and distant. And when he was done, he looked up and said quietly, "I thought I was the only one holding on." Lila reached for his hand. "I think we were both holding on in our own ways. Just, apart." The twist didn't break them. If anything, it deepened the roots of their love, because now they understood the full story. The heartbreak that nearly tore them apart. The choices made for them. The pain of almost never finding their way back. But they did. And that made all the difference.